The anger of the international music public reached its peak when the big-name Justin Bieber was suddenly dragged into a polemic involving Jungkook, one of the most influential members of BTS. How could a global superstar with extraordinary influence suddenly assert that his friend was treated unfairly by the company that raised his name? A big question hung in the air. What really happened behind the grand stage of South Korea's entertainment industry that triggered such an emotional reaction from Justin Bieber? The news that Justin Bieber was furious about the treatment allegedly received by Jungkook from the management side sparked tremendous commotion. The threatening words he uttered, "My friend Jungkook was treated like this by HYBE? We will sue them," sounded like a bomb exploding within the world entertainment industry. How could the personal relationship between an American pop star and a Korean global idol end in such a serious legal discourse? Was this just an emotional reaction, or was there a fact deliberately hidden all this time? Every word spoken by Bieber seemed like a loud alarm for ARMY all over the world. Those who are used to witnessing the closeness of Jungkook and Justin Bieber through behind-the-scenes interactions, musical collaborations, and mutual support in interviews now felt trapped in a big riddle. Was this a sign of a serious conflict that had long been hidden from the public? If Jungkook really experienced unfair treatment, how could an artist as big as him still be in such a situation? The atmosphere created was no longer just disappointment, but an emotional shock of global scale. ARMY in various countries poured their feelings through tears, protests, and demands for justice. Many wondered, would Justin Bieber really bring this matter to court? Or was this only a spontaneous outburst of disappointment that would not go further? These questions made the situation increasingly tense. It cannot be denied. The relationship between an artist and their agency is often colored with contradictions. But why was this case different? Why did the loud voice come from a close friend outside the BTS circle? Did this prove that there was a serious issue that perhaps had never been touched by media? Justin Bieber was not an ordinary figure. Every word from him became global discussion. If he asserted that he would sue the party allegedly treating Jungkook unfairly, then the world must ask, what was really being hidden behind the bright lights of the K-pop industry? Public suspicion grew stronger when several anonymous sources mentioned an imbalance in management and extraordinary pressure faced by Jungkook. Then a bigger question arose. Was this what truly made Justin Bieber lose his patience? Or was there something more personal, related to their friendship? In any case, this emotional reaction was difficult to explain with mere assumptions. Every small movement of Jungkook was now watched, every expression of his face analyzed. ARMY tried to find signs whether he really was under heavy pressure. But wasn't it hard to distinguish between the expression of a performer and his private life? Was it possible that we were only being swept away by a deliberately built narrative? Or was a bitter truth really being hidden from public view? This issue was not only testing the loyalty of fans, but also the integrity of media and the sensitivity of the global public. Were we ready to accept if it turned out there really was improper treatment toward Jungkook? Or would we prefer to close our eyes to maintain the perfect image of BTS that had been so tightly guarded? These questions increasingly dominated international discourse. Justin Bieber, with his position as one of the biggest artists in the world, surely would not casually issue a legal threat. But shouldn't the public question, what evidence did he have? Were his words purely a form of loyalty and friendship, or a reflection of a darker reality? What if all of this really was true? What if all of this was just sensationalism to attract public attention? One thing was certain. The sentence, "We will sue them," had created a storm. Not only among ARMY, but also within the global entertainment industry. Many speculated whether Justin would really go that far. If yes, then this case could become one of the biggest scandals in modern music history, changing the way the world views the relationship between artists and their agencies. However, behind it all, we must remain critical. Could the information circulating now be fully trusted? Or were we victims of a big narrative built for certain purposes? The fact that this issue spread widely through social media, short videos, and digital entertainment channels made it even harder to verify. How could we distinguish between fact and opinion? How could we be sure that Justin Bieber really uttered those words with the same intent understood by the public? These questions demanded deep reflection. Was it possible that the whole world was being played by a rumor packaged so convincingly? Or was this a chance to uncover the truth long hidden? How far were we ready to accept the reality if Jungkook truly experienced unfair treatment? And how much courage did we have to call such information a hoax if it proved false? The storm of emotion caused by this issue showed no signs of subsiding. ARMY worldwide were still waiting for further explanation. The international public still weighed between belief and doubt. Meanwhile, the names Justin Bieber and Jungkook continued to dominate global conversations. This situation affirmed one thing: an issue involving friendship, loyalty, and alleged unfair treatment was the strongest fuel for controversy in the digital era. Do you, as a reader, believe that this is all real? Or do you see it as fabrication for sensational purposes? Do you dare to state that the world is being led to believe something that may not be true? Or do you instead believe that Justin Bieber's voice was a sincere call for justice for his friend? In the end, this article was not only about Justin Bieber's anger or the alleged treatment of Jungkook. It was about how we all, as a global audience, must train skeptical, critical, and reflective attitudes. Never accept information at face value without weighing the context, sources, and purpose behind it. Because in a world full of sensationalism, truth is often the first victim. The news about Jungkook's shocking statement linked to the reason for him leaving BTS has now become one of the hottest issues flooding the digital public space. The surprise grew when Justin Bieber's name was mentioned due to his reaction recorded in widely spread narratives. But was this really reality, or merely a constructed story built to attract public attention? This question must be asked, for in the fast-moving information era, every piece of news is not always pure fact. Instead, we are often faced with opinion games, media framing, and emotional manipulation aiming to create instant sensation. Do you really believe Jungkook revealed the true reason behind his decision? Or are we stuck in a circle of speculation without clear basis? If we examined further, the presence of Justin Bieber's name added another layer to the debated drama. Why Justin Bieber? Why was the reaction of another global singer suddenly inserted into a narrative that should focus on Jungkook? Did this really happen? Or was it a strategy deliberately introduced to make the issue more appealing internationally? This question must be reflected on, for social media often creates a pseudo-reality that makes the public feel they are witnessing factual events, when in fact only fragments of perception were carefully arranged. What if Justin Bieber's shock was only part of a fictional narrative modified to add tension? Haven't we seen such things many times in other cases? The sources used in forming this issue also deserve questioning. It was said that the news came from video clips, statement fragments, and short posts on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and similar media. But could we immediately accept all of these sources as authentic? Was it not possible that there was visual editing, audio manipulation, or opinion engineering hidden within those fragments? Hadn't we seen many times how a clip of only seconds could generate broad interpretations and often lead to wrong conclusions? Were we not once again trapped in a viral phenomenon prioritizing speed over factual accuracy? On the other hand, fans, especially ARMY, could not escape the emotional impact. The tears said to fall from Jungkook became a very strong symbol to stir sympathy, empathy, and deep emotional involvement from millions of fans worldwide. But were those tears truly shed for the real reason? Or was that expression deliberately recorded and spread to form a certain narrative strengthening the drama behind this issue? Why was the global public so easily swayed by such visual symbols? Was the sadness displayed truly genuine, or merely a fleeting moment exaggerated into dramatic impression? We must also question, why could such news spread so fast and dominate global conversation? Was this purely the power of BTS and Jungkook's popularity, or were there other parties consciously pushing a certain narrative to keep the public debating? Wasn't virality often not a reflection of authenticity, but the result of orchestrated communication planned with precision? Could it be that some were exploiting Jungkook's popularity for certain gains, whether economic or political within the entertainment industry? In this, Justin Bieber's presence again deserves attention. Why was his shock reaction highlighted as an important point? Was it because involving another big name could broaden the issue's reach to wider global markets? Wasn't this strategy common in entertainment, where links between figures were used to strengthen narratives? If so, were we not witnessing a grand game deliberately using the names of Jungkook and Justin Bieber to maintain public attention? Furthermore, we must ask a more provocative question. Did Jungkook really want to leave BTS? Or was this issue deliberately created to stir emotional tension during the group's vacuum? If Jungkook truly wanted a different path, why was it not clearly confirmed by official parties? Was the truth being hidden? Or was this instead just gossip deliberately maintained to preserve popularity? Wasn't silence often the effective strategy to maintain mystery and make the public more curious? Such questions grew ever more important, as today's public is so easily trapped in the instant information flow without verifying. Do you, as a viewer or reader, believe this news really happened? Or do you notice subtle but strong signs of fabrication within every spread narrative? How do you decide to believe or reject such news? Do you base your decision on solid evidence or only on emotions carried by the atmosphere? Here lies the importance of skepticism and reflection in facing every piece of information. Do not let ourselves become passive consumers who simply accept as is, but ask questions, dig deeper, and do not be satisfied with shallow answers. Should we let our emotions continuously be played by media games? Or should we begin learning to separate fact from sensation? Isn't our future understanding of reality determined by our ability to think critically toward every piece of circulating information? In the end, the news about Justin Bieber's shock and Jungkook's confession will continue to be debated until there is clear certainty. But do we want to remain within the tension created by a narrative whose truth is unclear? Or do we choose to step back and assess rationally? The choice lies in our own hands, but one thing is certain. Without critical attitude, we will continue to be victims of information flows deliberately driven toward sensationalism. So, do you really believe this news? Or are you beginning to realize that there is more unseen than what is being shown to the public?